Oh, that's super strange. Super strange. Super strange. Oh well, it's working now. Back in action.
Christopher Freenon said do a wheelie.
There you go. 2 inches off the ground. That's all you get. Never could do wheelies. Been riding bikes my whole life. I mean, I can get the front tire up, but it doesn't stay up. You're gonna go for a ride on your new bikes? Take your mom for a rip?
Christopher Freenon said mom just have day off today.
Oh, that's a good day for a ride.
Christopher Freenon said any races coming up.
Not really, actually. No, it's season's it shuts down here over the summer. Our bike club, we try to end all of our races by end of June. As soon as kids are out of school in July, August, everyone goes on vacation. So our attendance, we used to run them into July, and then you'd get like 4 people show up. September is when cross races start back up. Yeah, well, that's the best place I ever got in a crit was 3rd, because only like 6 people showed up and it was raining. And normally you don't run the crit when it rains, but we decided to run it anyways, and I totally got 3rd because like everyone else was like too scared to go around the corners. Yeah, there's quite a bit of fondos and gravel rides going on, but nothing you'd consider a race. Like I have a fondo end of August. Actually, I have 2. I have a road fondo and a gravel fondo about a week apart. But I say those are just nice little rides, not trying to go super fast. Oh, it is peaceful out. There's like nothing going on at this time of day. It's been tough getting up super early. Like I really did not The last week was very hard, but I appreciate it once I'm out. Like, you don't get zero traffic much when you're out riding. Plus, I have so much extra time to get to work. I can kind of just go where I wouldn't normally go and take my time and just ride around.
Micro for 3.5 said time to hit the skate park.
Yeah. Actually, I need to figure out, this mount has been working good, but it jiggles around if you go over bumps. It moves a lot. Doing a big renovation on the skate park, or the jump track. They're tearing the BMX track out, building a brand new one, and putting in like sports field lighting. That truck does not sound healthy. All I could smell was unburnt gas as it drove by.
Micro for 3.5 said, did you always live on the island?
No, I grew up on the mainland, but the town I grew up in, you could only get to by ferries. So pretty much was an island. I think I moved to Nanaimo in 2003. So yeah, it'll be like 20 years next year. That's crazy.
Micro for 3.5 said, I never moved anywhere on my own.
Oh. It was kind of funny because my mom and sister, the town where we grew up, they moved here, and then I followed a few years later. So we still ended up in the same town.
Micro Capri and Offset guests, it'd be nice to have family around if you need help with anything.
Yeah, that's been good, especially with having kids. Like grandma's around. My wife's parents, they live here as well. My wife's sister and brother-in-law. Makes it easier.
See Micro Capri and Offset free babysitting.
Yeah. It's funny though, we still don't see them as often as you would think, even though we all live in the same place. I mean, everyone's got busy lives, but it is nice and easy when you do set like, hey, we're gonna have a barbecue, and everyone doesn't have to drive for hours. It's harder to say no if you don't have to go very far. Usually you can use that as an excuse, like, oh man, like, missed the turn light. Let's go down this path this morning. See the ferry.
See Micro Capri and Offset, is this private property?
This is like a little walking path. That's private property, the grass is. This is just like a little path. This is the ferry over to Gabriola.
See Micro Capri and Offset, ferry goes mainland.
No, it goes to another little island, this one. There's an island just... basically the land straight ahead is another island called Gabriola Island. And that's where this ferry goes. It's like 20 minutes. These are brand new. They got two of them. They used to have one ferry that went...
Capri and Offset, are they expensive to use?
I don't know. I actually never really go to Gabriola. They have two of them. So they used to just have one, and it's like a 1 hour round trip.
Capri and Offset, what about to mainland?
That's the ferry. Actually, we're going past the ferry to Vancouver on our ride here. I'll point it out. Morning. Yeah, these new ferries are electric.
Priyanov said City of Toronto Wander already ordered new ferries to the island here.
I don't know what time it leaves. It's still loading. Oh well. Oh, it's super bouncy. Super bouncy. Morning.
T-Micro Priyanov said yay GoPro stabilization.
I can't believe it's like this is like boardwalk. It's like super. Camera's just flinging everywhere. That's the problem with mounting it on the bike.
T-Micro Priyanov said your bike is going crazy but image is smooth.
Yeah, that's impressive. That's like damn good. It's got like horizon leveling on. It's crazy that they can do that. Just have it. Technology. Now we're on to one of the most hated bike paths in all of Nanaimo. Actually, I shouldn't say that anymore. This bike path is no longer as hated as the new one that they're building.
Wonder what they'll do for the Hero 11.
Yeah, well, I think the 11 is probably going to be pretty damn good. It seems like they skip a year on how, like the 7 compared to the 6 was like mind-blowing, and then the 8 was kind of bleh, and then the 9 came out with the crazy horizon leveling, so that blew everyone's mind, and then the 10 was just kind of like blah. So I'm expecting big things from the 11. I would love to see a bigger sensor falling behind in the sensor department. Heck.
T-Micro Priyanov said I might have to buy it and have 2 cameras, one for stream, one for filming if I wanted.
Yeah, that'd be kind of nice. I usually record all of my stream footage, but the stream isn't necessarily always pointing where, of things that I want to film. So it'd be nice to have like another one in the pocket that you could just move around, take short clips. That's the other thing, is when you record the stream, especially you do really long streams, you have like 4 hours of footage to go through to find like the good stuff. Yeah, I've been, I do the same thing. I download them, or I have like OBS set to record. So as soon as I hit stream, it records. But then, like, what do you do with that stuff? And then I usually upload it to YouTube because then it stays there forever. I have like the most boring collection of videos on my YouTube channel, because it's just like these 2-hour stream clips that, me just riding my bike. Like, they're not edited or anything. I know some people like will take their stream and then edit it down into like a 10-minute video.
I did 1 or 2 edits from stream, but nothing in a while.
It just takes so much time. Like, I'm not really good with the editing software. And so every time I go to edit a video, it's like 2.5 hours of me messing around with stuff. I could have a vision of what I want it to look like, but I can never get it to that level. And then I just get frustrated and just be like, to heck with this, and don't bother.
I hear you.
I think there's a reason why like the big YouTube people, like no one edits their own videos. They have like video editors that do that. Because what takes me 2.5 hours would probably take a guy who actually does it all the time, probably take him 30 minutes. Look at that. There's a beach deer. I don't know if you can see it on the street.
Dmitry Kuprianov said, I think you do get better with time.
Yeah, it's totally like a practice thing. Look at deer walking on the beach. I don't know what the beach has that the deer would want. Maybe it's eating seaweed or something.
Warren HSHC said, ooh, that looks nice.
The deer keeps like looking back at me, thinks I'm gonna get it. Hey Oren, how's it going?
Dmitry Kuprianov said was going to say water, but don't think they drink salt water.
No, I don't know what it's doing down here. It's just like, oh, it's coming this way. Oh, now it's like running. It's a pretty decent sized deer too.
Dmitry Kuprianov said, it's like, sheesh, can I have some privacy?
Yeah, it's like I was enjoying my morning at the beach, and now you're bothering me. It's just chilling.
Dmitry Kuprianov said, just here trying to sunbathe.
Yeah, it's just chilling. It's having a beach day. It's hanging with his buddy the geese. Oh, now it's like trotting away. It's running. It's had enough of me. So this is the way, so that's another island right there on the right. That's called Newcastle. Actually, no, they changed the name. It's like Seisuchin or something. Seisuchin. You need another little ferry to get to that island, but the ferry is like 8 minutes. It's a tiny little, teeny weeny little passenger boat. And you can go camping. And Newcastle Island is home to magic white raccoons. Morning. Morning. See, this is what's good about going to work, is I've been riding for 45 minutes. And I would normally be just leaving my house now. Kind of can't wait to get to work though. Got my bottle of cold brew in my bag.
Said the map has the small island as Protection Island. What an odd name.
Yeah, there's like, Gabriola is pretty huge. A teeny little island called Protection Island. And then the other island called like Newcastle. Protection is very small. I think they just call it Protection Island because it's in between the two big islands and it stops waves from getting into the harbor. Some crazy thing like that. But yeah, Newcastle is a provincial park, so you can't, there's no buildings. Like there is a building on it and like a concession stand, but there's camping and hiking trails. Protection Island is like a private, like there's lots of houses on it, but you need a boat. There's a really good pub on Protection Island. And there's Gabriola Island. They actually had talked about, well, they have been talking for years and years about putting the ferry terminal on Gabriola on the other end and then building a bridge, because that would knock the ferry ride from Nanaimo to Vancouver from an hour and a half down to like 40 minutes. But Gabriola is filled with people that are trying to get away from the city. So they are massively opposed to having a bridge to their island. Oh, motorbike touring, heading to the ferry. What the city's been talking about too is they want to make a path along the ocean from pretty much my house, well, near my house, all the way to Departure Bay here. So I'd be able to ride my bike along the waterfront for 10K of my commute. It'd be amazing. Here's the ferry terminal to Vancouver.
Waterfront trails here gets too busy in the summer.
Yeah, well, luckily, like, I'd only be using them for commuting. So it'd be like this morning, there'd be no one on them.
You might have to create offset. Yes, if you're not racing, it's okay, but can get a bit frustrating.
Oh, yeah.
For many people.
Totally to get frustrating. Here,
Create offset ferry is only way to mainland, no bridge right.
yeah, only way. This ferry goes to Horseshoe Bay near Vancouver. There's another ferry south, close to where I live, goes to Tawasin, which is like closer to the border. And then there's a ferry from Victoria to Tawasin as well. I think, yeah, this ferry is about an hour and a half, hour 35 minutes.
You might have to create offset all those cars going on the ferry.
Yeah, the ferry is super busy. They've been having issues with all the COVID stuff going on because tons of ferry workers calling in sick, and they've had to cancel ferries. And the summer, all the ferries are usually over, or there's like sailing waits.
You might have to create offset. Our airport is a mess. Think they canceled tons of flights.
Yeah, and are they losing everyone's luggage too?
You might have to create offset. Someone mentioned lost bike in Toronto in Mad Jazz Street.
What? Oh, that was, I think, Dr. Weebles. Dr. Weebles, another Zwift streamer. He flew over to join Matcha on his, like, cross-country trek. And apparently the airport lost his luggage and bike and everything. Doesn't work so well. He's riding, so he must have been able to like find a rental bike or something, but, or maybe the bike eventually showed up, but
You might have to create offset. Fuck this up.
yeah, I haven't gotten the full story. I just heard that they lost his bike and luggage. Or maybe they just lost his luggage and not his bike or something like that.
You might have to create offset. Hitch had that happen when he got home.
Well, it's sort of like what, not enough employees, everyone's overworked. You know, so what happens is they don't have enough employees, so they're getting people to work extra shifts to cover. Everyone's tired. And people have been doing this for years now. Like, it's not like, oh, you just got to work extra for like the next 4 months and it's going to be over. No, it's been like since 2020.
You might have to create offset, and I think a lot of airlines are just horrible.
I think in general, yeah, like there's so much cost cutting. I don't even know how people even like should be touching baggage. Like, how is the baggage system not totally fully automated?
He might for free an offset, or it is, but they clicked the wrong button where to send it.
Yeah. Well, I just thought like the airlines would put a tag with like a UPC code on the bag. The bag would travel down a conveyor, get scanned and go this way or go that way. I don't know why, but this hill feels way easier today. It's very strange. Like, maybe it's the 10 less pounds in my bags. Oh, this part's a little steeper. This feels like a hill now. It totally looks flat. It's definitely not flat. It is currently 8.8%, 8.9, 9.1.
might for an offset or the robots are lying to you.
Yeah. I don't think my legs are lying though. I think my legs are telling the truth. My heart rate. Oh, that's how you do it. It's nice to go down to Departure Bay, but without the pathway, you got to go up that hill and then drop back down the hill. It'd be nice just to go from the terminal straight through.
Damage if you shift gears with a lot of pressure on the pedals.
Not really. It might not shift. I mean, I wouldn't stand up and sprint and shift gears, but in general, no, like I've seen people's chain snaps or snap, but that's crazy rare. That car was burning oil. Closer to the downhill. He was in a hurry. Or actually, maybe he wasn't in a hurry. His car was just loud. He was not accelerating all that fast. I mean, there's an art form of shifting gears, and you just get used to it, where your brain, without even thinking, you ease up a little bit. Like you never stop pedaling, but you kind of ease up for a split second while you shift. But I mean, most modern drivetrains, it doesn't really matter. Like they work so well. So that's where we just were. Was over there by the ferry terminal. So the pathway would just go
Be mindful to
along.
offset those froze.
They're freaking everywhere right now. You'd just be able to take the pathway all the way from like here to pretty much 2 kilometers from my house. So my entire commute would be, well, not my entire commute, but like 80% of my commute would be oceanfront bike path, which would be flat. That'd be amazing.
Be mindful to free an offset, just need to get a bike road.
Yeah, totally. Little paddle boat or pedal boat. this many trees and still cell phone signal in the trees. I guess you just get used to it, but yeah, there is a lot of damn trees around here. You just don't pay attention after a while.
Mikey said, yeah, once I see this, I'm one step away from BRB screen.
Yeah.
T-Microcaprianov said, OMG, it's the famous Bike Beast.
Oh, they actually have a rule. These trees aren't big enough, but they have like a heritage tree clause in the city here, that if the tree is of a certain size, you can't cut it down.
Mikey said you like that. Tablet 100 dollars.
Need more SIM cards. It's like Matcha. See the box of SIM cards he's got? Found some crazy deal, 80% off at some gas station.
T-Microcaprianov said, I am sure people have a way around it.
Yeah, like
Said he's got enough for like 3 years.
yeah, it's crazy.
Caprianov said, accidentally killed a tree.
Yeah, you could definitely do that. Get a tornado to come through your yard and knock the tree down. High winds. This road we're riding right now used to be a rail line. Back at the beach where we were at, that's one of the places to load coal from the mine. And this road here used to be a rail line for the trains to bring coal down to the beach. So there's a nice hill to ride because it's not very steep. This winds a little bit, but the grade is nice. I'm only 3 minutes and 30 seconds behind my personal best. I'm only doing 1 kilometer. That's very far behind.
T-Microcaprianov said, better step on it.
I catch up to my PB, motoring. This road here, we've used it before with the bike club as part of our hill climb series. So I've raced it a few times. Zero desire to go at 100% right now. Actually, in general, the last few months I've had zero desire to go at 100%.
Mikey said, just enjoy the ride.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing these days. It's
Mikey said, especially outdoors, if it's not an event long.
Yeah, no, it's totally been like that the last few months. I'd say the last 2 months. All the riding I've been doing is riding because I want to, because I feel like it.
T-Microcaprianov
More time. I just can't wait till Bike Beast is on next so I can spend more points to listen to that song. I think Keo was on stream once and someone TTS'd him to death. And it was just like, well,
Said, oh my God.
and Keo's like entire stream for 45 minutes, whatever, was just la 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 la, like for 45 minutes straight. I was like,
He said that's a daily occurrence law.
yeah. I was like, turn the damn TTS off.
Why I am surprised people still use free TTS. Mikey said he's also gotten DVD or Riot for 10 minutes, but that's another story. He Microcyprianov said though my TTS is one bit but still something new.
Yeah, well, no, people are even paying though. Like, that's the beauty. Bike Beast in particular, he gets so many people paying just to write a bunch of crap. Now 5 minutes and 37 seconds behind my PR pace.
Microcyprianov said now he's rich cap.
Rich with all like the,
Mikey said yeah, I can understand how a Moran system works well at its core.
yeah. It's like a vending machine. Quarter, a quarter, a quarter, a quarter, a quarter. And then you have
He said D Microcyprianov rich enough to buy a microwave.
for a microwave for the rice, instant rice.
Mikey said house for sale. How much are they here? D
Uh,
Microcyprianov said.
The average house price in Nanaimo has gone up massively in the last couple years. I think we're in the 600s as an average price, which American is like 400.
A bag of rice ready to eat, you didn't need to do anything. Mikey said safe to say that's everywhere. Well, that's not bad.
Yeah, it hasn't bled over. Like Vancouver is unbelievably bad. Victoria's getting bad. Nanaimo hasn't gotten super bad yet. But yeah, if you're comparing places like San Fran and stuff, and the housing prices here are pretty decent. Oh, 11 minutes and 48 seconds. My PR is 4 minutes and 59. We're going camping next week and I had to buy a bunch of dehydrated food.
D. Microcyprianov said Toronto is a joke seeing signs for townhomes starting at $600K.
Yeah, that's...
D. Microcyprianov said oh camping stream.
Yeah, actually I would love to do a camping stream, but there is zero cell signal at all anywhere. Like enough cell signal to maybe sneak a text through. in the town. But yeah, where we're camping, not a chance. It's the best way though. It's like the only way you can escape is by being completely cut off. A 240 kilometer long Ethernet cable.
Anything at 600K. That's like the price to remodel something low.
Yeah. Well, it's like in Vancouver. Vancouver, they're buying crappy old houses for $1 million to tear them down to build a gigantic house. I think here you can still get a small, like an actual vacant piece of property to build on for under 300.
Toronto is also massive.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, yeah, you're not getting $600,000 townhouse anywhere close to downtown. Here for, 1.3 million, you're getting oceanfront. Actually, there was just a house for sale just south of where I live on something like 6 acres on a lake. The property had 1,000 feet of lakefront, which is massive. 1,000 feet is a lot of lakefront with a little pier for like 2.3 million. Oh shit balls. I'm on the wrong lane. I'm on the wrong lane. Yeah. So for like 2.3 million, you get like 6 acres. It actually had 2 houses. It had a main house and had a guest cottage, lakefront. You could rent the cottage out, and it would end up paying like 1/3 of your mortgage. Morning. Wasn't paying attention at that intersection back there, and I totally went into like the wrong turn lane where I would have gotten like sandwiched between cars turning left.
Is property tax high where you are?
Yeah. Probably not as high as where you are, but it's getting up there. There is a lot of infrastructure projects that they keep raising our property taxes for. All these damn bike lanes. Actually, I was just before I left this morning, I was reading all of the social media outrage on the bike lanes. How dare they make the streets narrower? How dare they? It's like, does there need to be a bike lane on both sides of the road? Why couldn't they have just made one bike lane so the bikes are narrow? And I was like posting, why didn't they just make the car one road, one lane? Like, why do you need 2 lanes in your car? You need 2 bike lanes, the same reason you need 2 damn lanes when you drive your car. One goes each way. It makes me smile with the amount of hate people have over bike lanes. I never see anybody in those bike lanes, ever. No one rides in the bike lanes. Yeah, well, what's funny is like one guy, like people just post like the road is narrower, but the road is built to like Ministry of Transport code. Yeah, like I was on the bike lane yesterday, and 2 transit buses passed each other, and they had like tons of room. There was no like, oh my gosh, the mirrors are gonna touch. People are just so crazy. And that is the big bias in North America, though, is we're not a biking culture. People view biking here as a hobby and stuff that kids do. Like, this is like the second cyclist I've passed commuting. And that's what they don't understand about the bike lanes. The bike lanes are there for like commuters. So like, I'm going to work at 7:45 in the morning. You know what? You're not going to see many people in the bike lane at 11 a.m. Because at 11 a.m., people are at work already. It's the same thing with cars. Hey, guess what? There's more cars on the road at 8 a.m. than there is at 11 a.m. Because guess why? Because people drive to work. It makes me laugh. I don't get involved. I don't post anything. I just read through the comments and just shake my head and go, people are idiots. People don't even understand what pays for the roads. They're like, bikes, cyclists should be licensed and insured so that they help pay for the roads. I'm like, no, man. Your licensing fees and insurance does not pay for the roads. Your house property taxes pay for the roads. Well, that's it. Like, the roads.
You can drive to McDonald's at midnight. Most same CCL aren't riding to Mickey D's at that time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and then at midnight, the traffic is less. So are people freaking out that no one uses the roads at midnight? Once everyone has ridden to work, people riding in the bike lanes, because the bike lanes serve their purpose to get people a safe way. Well, you see, where you live, bike lanes just end in random spots all over the place. I mean, they end in random spots here as well, but here you can see the master plan. Like here you can see. Yeah, we actually do. Well, it's not a declared holiday. They actually have a week, it's called Bike to Work Week. It's one of my favorite commuting weeks. And they encourage everybody, and companies can put a team in for Bike to Work Week and compete against other companies of like who rode the most to and from work. And during Bike to Work Week in the morning and the evening, they have like stations set up where they give you like donuts and muffins, and oh, it is the most amazing week of riding ever. Except it poured.
He said we to spare the air all the time. Homeless people love it. Stolen, I need free bike.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Well, there's that problem too. I would ride more if I knew my bike was going to be outside when I came outside. Like, I would love to go to the grocery store and pick up a few items and put them in my bike bag. I would totally have a e-bike, like an e-cargo bike, and grocery shop. But there's literally a 50-50 chance that my bike is most likely not going to be there when I get out of the grocery store.
Said place here don't even have bike racks.
Well, yeah, first of all, there is no bike racks. Yeah, well, bike will not be there from some person chopping it up. I was at work and then I turned around and like rode away because I was like still talking. Yeah, they start spray painting it before you actually even like, before you're even like, they don't steal it first, they paint it. I think the spray painting of the bikes is hilarious because you still know it's your bike. If someone stole this bike and spray painted it, I'd be like, yep, that's my bike. All right, I'm at work now. I've already done like 2 laps of the parking lot because we keep like talking. Everyone's wondering what the heck I'm doing, why I'm doing like circles around in the parking lot, talking to myself.